is there anything that someone would like to share from last week that you implemented and has just been changing your life? We'll start there. Anybody have anything that they would like to share? Did anybody implement anything over the last week, or is this a waste of time? Just saying. Somebody gotta have something to say. Who's gonna say something? Because I'm not gonna move on until somebody says something.
Not thinking. I've been not thinking since last week, and I've been having more traction than any other time.
So just doing. I love that. Somebody else unmuted. Who else was gonna say something? Thank you for sharing, Kendra.
I'll share. Hi, everybody. Oh, sorry. Just real quick. So basically what I've been implementing this week is just focusing on the good. Focusing on the good, and being loud about the wins, and you'll get more of it. So that was good for me, just like refocusing. I sent my mentor my chart, and she applauded me for like refocusing and just, focusing on the good and not worrying about who's doing what. And when you do that, like everything just comes into fruition. So it's been a good week. Been a really good week of refocusing.
Love it. Miss Marion, did you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I printed my chart and I update it every day now. Yeah. So that lets me know where I need to be. So that's what I implemented.
That's exciting. That's awesome. Yep. Okay, thank you for sharing, guys. Come on, man. Y'all should hop on my Zoom and just know what's up and just jump into it instead of us wasting time. We got that much time together. All right. If anybody else, I'm seeing some things in the comment, changing my circle, not just doing it and not putting all the thought into it. Okay, yes. Thank you for sharing. Still at gymnastics. Come on, be committed. Celebrating the wins and just going after my daily tasks. Putting your pride aside. Come on, girl. We talked about that. Asking for help. Oh my gosh, I don't know why that's so hard for people to ask for help. All right, so here's what we're going to talk about today. And y'all light up the comments and tell me what comes to mind or to your heart when you hear this. We're going to talk about getting what you show people you deserve. What comes into your mind when you hear that? Could you be getting the distributors that you feel you deserve? Could you be signing the customers, the 25 Fat Fighter BV customers, because you feel like that's what you deserve? Self-sabotage, that's what we're going to talk about today. Anybody want to unmute and say something about it? Just be honest and be real and raw up in this healthy space, because we don't judge here, because everybody jacked up. But His grace is sufficient for us all. Go ahead, Miss Mary.
I would say I'll be real with the self-sabotage. I think sometimes, like when we were doing the Skinny Brew samples last week, I was all like, yeah, I'm getting mine. I was doing everything. And then I got all excited. And then I was like, oh, somebody else doing better. And somebody else doing that. And then all of a sudden, my sales started going like that. Just as soon as I started letting the negativity hit in, my sales said, zoop.
So how do you refocus when that happens? Let's talk about like how do you refocus yourself and like kind of check yourself in that moment?
For me, I look at my daughter and son who's in the other room, and I'm at a point now where I don't want to tell them that I wasn't courageous enough to fight for my dream so that they could have what I want them to have and live the life that I want them to live. I don't want them to think that I wasn't courageous enough or bold enough or consistent enough to do that. I'm just out for that anymore.
So what about, did it work? Or did you still kind of decline even in the midst of it?
Sorry, I kept muting myself. It was a struggle because days I just had to keep telling myself. I had to keep picturing what that looked like and how I felt when I had to say, no, we can't do that. No, we can't do that. no, talk to me later. Talk to me on Friday on payday.
So what's so crazy? So this is good. So what happens is you're doing well, and then you start to see something that makes you second guess yourself, and then you go back to where you were doing well, and it starts to go south. And now you're starting to believe the lies of what you just saw and manifested in your life because you believed it. You believed it. Like, she's doing better than me. Like, you believed it. And so could it be that you manifested that over here? So when you came back over here to keep getting it popping with the fear, because you're giving out fear, right? So now we know, we talked about last week, giving it'll come back to you, good measure, pressed down, shaking together. And so you then came over here and grasped fear and then went back over here with the fear. You didn't get it and then say, that don't belong to me. Like, no, bro, we got whatever we gotta do. We getting rid of that before we come back over here. So now you brought the fear on over to your messages. And now you like, well, nobody want it. Like, no, nobody, like, you brought the fear over here.
I did. You are right. I did.
So how do y'all snap out of it? That's my question today. Let's kind of brainstorm, and then I'll give you what I do. Do you have, so there's so many things, there's no right answer to this, guys. Like, it's going to be different for everybody. So you jump in. If you don't know, stay in the comments. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because I do it all the time. Self-sabotage all the time. I get a person that says, I'm ready to sign up as a lawyer, or yeah, I'm interested in a coffee. And you so afraid, you don't even want to tell them the price. You so afraid. You like, oh, you got to pay $4.95 for shipping. Oh, now it's like, well, maybe she don't want the coffee. Like, oh, she ain't got no money for that. Like, you done messed up the whole day before you even got on the phone.
I'll comment on this, Rachel, because this happens to me so many times. Not in retrospect to the products, but more or less for me, like my leadership and with my team and just being confident in myself. And what really helps me is community. Like, I need that thing like every day. Like, that's just me, because I'll go to an event, I'll hear something, I'll get so fired up, and I'm like, I can do this. Like, I don't believe the lies. Like, I am who he says I am. Like, I feel so good. I'll go home and implement it, and then I'm confronted with that old thing, that old feeling, that old demon that's like, ooh, you remember last time you had to have that hard conversation and that happened and she quit. And then it makes me doubt and get that fear and bring it to that new person to where I can't even lead or hold them accountable like I should, because I'm leading in a fearful, timid, sugar-coated way. But then you go to another, or I'll go to another event, get filled up, and it's like this ugly cycle. So what helps me is events in that circle. And I know I need, like, you need to know what you need. So I know I need community like more than 2 times a month. Like, I need it every week. And what I've been doing is just like latching on to teammates, a lot more people who are closer. So outside of a Monday meetup, outside of a try it, like, who is someone on this team that I can meet up with for lunch and work with, who's on fire? Not just, someone who's lollipopping, but somebody who's on fire and who can pump me up and can see something in me that I don't even see. Who can I do a work grind wine with? And then also that personal development is like key. Like, I know for myself dealing with anxiety and depression, like, I have to have something in my ear constantly, like all the time. I need it more than I even think I need it. So those two, the community and personal development, is really big for me, and I know it's going to be big for someone else too.
It's good. The consistency, like understanding that, like, your personal and spiritual development is like changing your drawers. And I pray that y'all change your drawers every day, because if you don't, you're going to stink. And so if you're stinking, it's because you need to change your drawers. So remember that. So let me tell y'all something. One thing I want to tell y'all is that somebody cannot pull out of you what's not inside of you. Someone cannot pull out of you what's not inside of you. So I mean, and that kind of goes a little deeper than some may want to think about. Like, girl, I'm just here to get the customers. Well, guess what? You gotta look yourself in the mirror, because entrepreneurship is about looking in the mirror. So let's go back over. And you're having this conversation with a potential distributor. Let's change it to distributor, right? And you're like, well, I ain't never did this before. And so instead of you deciding that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength, and God is no respecter of person, so instead of you pulling those scriptures out because they're not inside of you, they're not inside of you. So instead of you pulling those out, you pulling out what you done known since you was in high school. Like, you sure right, you gonna fail. You may get a D, you might get a C, or she ain't gonna join me. Or she wanna join her, she don't wanna join me. Like, why would she wanna join me? I haven't made any money in the company. Like, you'll start to sabotage yourself before you even you'll speak death over yourself. You wonder why your business is dead. It's because you speak death over yourself every single day, and life and death is in the power of the tongue. And you don't understand how powerful your words are. So when you're saying things that you may feel inside, even though nobody's saying you don't feel them, it's a real thing. Nobody's saying you don't feel them. You feel them. But can you correct it with his word? Because I'm 32 years of lies. How many years y'all got? I mean, you ain't got to tell. But how many years you got of lies? So now you got to start speaking some truth. And then what's so crazy is I tell people all the time that joining works, like, this is not like any other business that you've ever been a part of. Ever. I don't care. I don't care if you've done network marketing before. It's not it. We care about your whole being. The system of how our company is set up, you have to serve. Serving is what changes your heart. Y'all get what I'm saying? And as you change your heart, then you can be in such a better place to be able to give instead of always having your hand out to receive. So today, when you sent messages, was it about giving or was it about getting? So, hold on, let me go back and see. So let's give you some strategies. So Trevia gave me one, community, personal development. So I told somebody, I said, when you feel that overwhelming feeling, don't send the message. Okay? I'm not saying don't send it, period. In that moment, don't send it, because you don't want to receive that back. Now, if you want to jack up some things to get past it, like if you want to, you could send 10, 15 in that bad spirit and pray to God, just release it. Or you can take some moment and, you know what? Who down to do an exercise with me today? And some people on this team have done it before. Who down? Let me get about 6 hands. Who's down? I got one person down. Who else down? Y'all don't raise your hand. I'm gonna start calling y'all names. Who down to do an exercise? Who that? Dee Dee down. Okay. Deja down. Keisha, you can be down too. Okay. Christina down. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. Y'all gotta stand up though. Okay. So I've had a lot of my leaders do this. And here's the thing. I'm gonna do it with you guys. So I have had a lot of my leaders do this, right? And it's not something that you do one time. And so I'm telling you guys this right now. It's not something you do one time. You have to do it every time you need it, okay? Which could be every day in the beginning, okay? So you're gonna stand up, and what you're gonna do is, and I'm gonna spotlight my video so that y'all feel, oh, well, okay. So I'm gonna spotlight my video. So what you do is you close your eyes. So this is what you can do. So let's just say you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling all this negativity and things of that sort that's going through your head. So what you do is you stand up and then you close your eyes. And I'm okay with being crazy, because I know the 1%er is crazy, legit. Whether they want to tell you they're crazy or not, they're crazy. I just let people see my crazy because I'm an open book. So you're gonna open your eye, you're gonna close your eyes, and then you're gonna take a moment and you're gonna hold your hands up like this. And I want you to picture that there's like a board on top of your hands. So hold on, before you close your eyes, look at me. So look at my hands. So my hands like this, and it's almost like I have a board on my hands, right? Okay, so close your eyes, hold your hands up. Imagine yourself holding this board. And I want you to think about every single thing that you believe when you're talking to these people, or when you're working your business day in and day out, or you're about to make a post on your wall or whatever. What are these lies that you believe? Or what are the things that are just on your heart and mind, even when it comes to sending messages? So I'm going to give you guys some examples, and then I'll give you like 60 seconds for you to think of your own things. But you could be thinking about, well, I'm not good enough. No one wants to join me. People always tell me no. My e-suite is whack. Nobody is going through my organization. I sign distributors and they auto ship decline, or whatever. Like all these different things. Or you may be thinking like, man, I need to make $100 by Friday. Like I need them to say yes. I'm just so overwhelmed. Like all these different things. So I'm gonna give you 60 seconds, and I want you to think about all the things, every single last one of them. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to lift the board up. Because as you lift the board up, as you guys are thinking about all these different things that are on your heart and mind, you lift this board up. And it's going to start to, even if you don't, like in real life, like right now, like you start to think about all these different things, you're going to feel heavy. Like you're literally going to feel heavy. So I want you guys to think about that. I mean, it could be anything for you. Like my spouse don't believe in this business. Like my friends and family don't even support me, and they just waiting for me to fail or quit because they said it didn't work in the first place. Like I can't, whatever it may be. I don't have money to run my auto ship. My website, the feed declined. I'm embarrassed. Whatever it is. And then, because right now, your hands should be, I mean, I work out. Your hands should be feeling a little heavy. You know, you be at church and you can pay your hands up and you waiting. Okay. But anyways, so what you do from here is you bend down at your knees and you throw it off of you. And sometimes what happens is once you throw it off of you, a lot of people, they take it back. You didn't even really let it go. It's like you threw it and then brought it back with you, and you have to throw it again and have to really release yourself to get this stuff off of you. And this takes me back to Philippians 4, 6, and 7. And God says, don't worry about anything. He says, tell him what you need and thank him for all he's done. So at the end of the day, like all the things, God has all of the situations that you have going on. And so even in this moment, and it might feel uncomfortable. Like you might do this and your kids walk by like, what's wrong with my mama? Like you have to take the time and just throw it off. So right now, y'all bend at your knees and throw all the stuff off of you. Throw it off. Keep your eyes off. Start throwing it off. And every once in a while, you have to like take the things off of you and like actually take them off, because you've had them on you for so long that they become a part of your skin, that they become a part of, like you're wearing them literally like clothes, like your favorite jacket that you're putting on it. So you literally have to just take this stuff off of you and say, this is not who I am, and this is not what I desire. This is not what God spoke over me. So y'all take the time and y'all throw that stuff off of you. And even when you don't feel like it, because we don't, and this is, you know, scripture is so important in understanding that you walk by faith and not by sight. So the things that you see is not necessarily what is going on. Actually, it's not even a not necessarily, it's not what's going on. Because the Bible says we walk by faith and not sight. So everything that you see is not really what's going on. So you take a moment and you throw that off, and then when y'all get done, you have to sit back down. I feel lighter. That was that was good. Those of you guys who actually did it, how did that feel? Somebody want to unmute? Miss Fran said, I'm about to get my shout out. Don't make me turn on some shouting music.
I have something.
Yeah.
So I know when you made the comment about like lifting the board, and you were like, I work out so my arms don't hurt as much. And so I because my arms didn't hurt that much either. Then I had the thought, I was like, probably because like I I don't know, like even when stuff does come my way, I like minimize it, but minimize the impact that it really is having on me. So like, so I probably should be lifting. It probably is heavier than I make it seem and impacting more than I really realize. And so I need to like start really examining the impact it is having on me. So that was something that stood out to me when you did that.
It's so good. Oh, that's so true. All these strong people in the house. That's good. Who else? Yeah, I want to share. Come on. Who else did it? Oh,
I know for me personally, I feel a little lighter just because I know, like with my anxiety, I am always, my mental is my worst at all times. So like even sometimes before I send a message, like even if it's like the third time I talk to the person, I should still have the same positive attitude, but my mental is always like, well, you're just wasting your time. So like letting that go is definitely something that I need to do because it holds me back a lot.
It's so true. You know, how do you view your business? Do you view your business as a multi-million-dollar organization? Let me tell y'all, if you view your business at the space that you really desire for it to be, there's certain things that you just can't be worried about. For example, I want you to think about like the Target policy. Y'all know Target to take anything, right? Like, and in return, Target is not tripping off your like you trying to get some coins back. Okay, Target will even exchange. Did you know that if you buy jeans from Target and they get like a hole in them, that they'll exchange them if you got your receipt? Like Target don't care because they're a multi-billion-dollar establishment. Do y'all get what I'm saying? And if you're running this multi-million-dollar establishment, think about this. Let's go back to my emails. Like I tell my team all the time, like, you know, Target sends me 1,000,001 notifications every day. Like they don't care. Like unless I tell them to stop, they're gonna send them, right? So I want you to think about it like that. Like there should be no feeling per se attached opposed to me trying to get you a deal. You get what I'm saying? And if I deal with thousands of customers every single day, I cannot be concerned about your one little return. Like, not that I don't treat you with any less respect, because I treat all my customers with respect, but I'm not about to lose sleep off of one person because I deal with thousands of people. Can you put that into your mind right now? Can you walk by faith in that? When it comes to your business partner, saying like, it's okay, like, this is like, I'm practicing and getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm practicing and think about this. Like when you hit up your DT all day, like when you have 50 DTs that you sign and you're helping, are you gonna be able to do that? Then you should be doing it now. Why are you doing that? You can't do that when you run a billion-dollar enterprise. So you have to act like that right now. So let's go back to self-sabotage. Okay, something I needed, felt a little lighter, and we'll be doing a lot more. Please do. Let me tell you. Please do. Please do. Yes. Good. Oh, yay. Good. All right. Oh, yay. It is supposed to be emotional. Okay, come on, Jesus. All right. So, back to self-sabotage. How do you figure out your worth? Well, I mean, outside of the word. We know the word. How do you know what? Let's go to that. After you figure out who you are in God, who God said you were, how do you start believing it and walking in it? Let's talk about that. I'm gonna give y'all, I want to hear from one of y'all, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I believe or my perspective. Affirmations. Mm-hmm. Circle journaling, like you have to seriously forgive yourself for taking on all the opinions of others. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, like one of the biggest things is this don't work when you do it every once in a while. This is not a sporadic thing. It's not. It will not work if you do it sporadically. It's like the gym. You go to the gym Even people go, I went to the gym once a week with Zayden and I'm still fat, like when I was pregnant. I mean, I wasn't in as bad a shape as I could have been, but I was huge. Okay, so going to the gym once a week, you know, especially when you ain't doing the other things, like I was still eating ratchet and all that. It's the whole thing. Dig deep. You have to decide. It reminds, yes, when I cut my hair, yes, come on, Jesus, cut it all off. The bubble of peace. Bubble of peace. That's good. Can't allow anyone to penetrate you. That is not. Yes, penetrate your bubble. Yes, bubble. Sorry. Woo, Jesus. Okay, but this is I want to tell you about it. Okay, listen. So, right now, we have two things. Well, kids who are going through different stages in life, right? So, I'm just going to use Zayden. So, Zayden right now dealing with potty training, right? So, as a parent, I have to be consistent. And consistency does not mean once a day. I also have to affirm the things that I desire and deal with a 2-year-old attitude in the midst of that. And his learning curve, his ability and willingness to learn, right? But I cannot take him to the bathroom once a day and expect for him to be potty trained. How often does he have to go to the bathroom in order for that to be something that's instilled in him, for him to really desire to use the bathroom and start to believe that he actually can and that he can control his body? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's the same concept when it goes to you believing. And let me tell you, you have to remove, like, how serious are you about stopping self-sabotage? Let's just say on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? 1, I'm not, what was 1? I told my, I don't even remember. 1 is nothing, 10 is, she did that. Like, I'm here, I'm all the way in, right? 1 is help me, Jesus. 10 is she did that. Yep, I remember. That's what I told my leaders on Saturday. Okay. Ain't that a nice scale? Y'all like that? 1 is help me, Jesus. 10 is she did that. Y'all can start using that. I made it up. Okay, but anyways, so 10, right? So if you say you're at a 10 in terms of this and you're all in, like for real, all in, and that does not mean you're not gonna mess up, okay? You're gonna mess up. We're jacked up. You're gonna mess up. But that doesn't mean that every day can't be day 1. So my team the other day, I said, I'm getting on the 6 a.m. grind. And it was like, didn't nobody say nothing, but it's all right because I hold myself accountable. And I didn't get on the 6 a.m. grind the next day because the player was asleep, okay? So I'm reading this book now. It's called the 5 a.m. Club. And I was up at 5 a.m. this morning, okay? And then I was on the 6 a.m. grind. And so and now I decided it's who I am. I'm a part of the 5 a.m. Club. Like, I had to take on the new identity. So what new identity are you going to take on for yourself? Did I say this last week? I said this last week about drinking. Y'all remember? No? Was it not here? Maybe not. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you guys. So I had to take on the identity, or maybe it was on Brittany's Zoom. I had to take on the identity that I don't drink. So this is something that I have been like dabbling with, like, you know, for some years now, and I haven't been drinking, but it's just like, you know, do I drink? Do I not drink? Like, and it was like, you have to take on a new identity of a non-drinker. Like, you just don't drink. Like this morning in my stories, I was like, I'm not even a coffee drinker. Girl, you've been drinking coffee every day for 2 years. Like, you're a coffee drinker. Duh. Like, why would I tell you I'm not? It was 2 years ago when you wasn't drinking coffee. You drink coffee every day. Like, you're a coffee drinker. You just don't drink everybody's coffee. You drink keto coffee, or you drink skinny brew, you know? I was like, okay, I am a coffee drinker. What? And it was like, you don't drink. Like, you don't. I literally do not drink. It's a part of my identity. Now, does that mean that, so as you embrace the identity of who you are, who this new person is, you can walk in it. Like, let's just say you're somebody who's normally angry, and you know, you should be like, that's just who I am. No, I'm not angry. I'm not. I refuse to take that label. I'm saying? So when it comes to self-sabotage, you have to put yourself into this new place of a new identity. And this is why they tell you to proclaim different ranks. But the problem is when you claim these ranks, you have no idea what it means, right? So what identity is in parallel to a diamond? Like, what does that even mean besides the money? I'm diamond. What does that mean? I make $2,000 a month. Like, what do I do with it? Am I a good steward? Like, am I actually leading? Like, do I enroll consistently? Like, what does diamond even do? I'm ambassador diamond. What does that mean? Like, I make $34,000 a month. Like, is that what that means? I make $500,000 a year, but I have no idea what to do with it. Like, what does that even mean when I take these identities on? So as much as you want to make these ranks and these different amounts of money, you don't even know who you are. And so then you start to take on the identity of I'm diamond, but who are you? Diamond, who are you? I'm diamond. Like, what does that even mean? What does a diamond do? How are you correlating with a diamond? What characteristics of you correlates with a diamond? So, for example, I'm Black Diamond. What does that even mean? It means I'm a 1%er. What else does it? Oh, it means I get up at 5 a.m. I'm a member of the 5 a.m. club. It means that I work out every day. Like, I work out. I am a worker outer. I'm consistent. I'm consistent in showing up. I show up. That's who I am. It's who I am. I show up. It's a part of my identity. I am brave. I am patient. I remember back before I went diamond, I was like, yo, patience is a virtue I failed to possess. You wasn't diamond, baby, okay? Like, I'm talking like that. I wasn't diamond, but God's grace is sufficient, okay? But that's not a characteristic of a diamond. So who are you? What is the identity that you're giving yourself, and not just some affirmations that are cute that you put every once in a while? Like, who are you? What are the give me 3. Just drop 3 in the comments. And don't make them brave, patient, and consistent. No. Don't say those 3. Who are you? So, like, for example, like, if you're a mom, like, let's just say I'm a mom, what characteristics make you a good mom? So, like, for me, I make dinner. And my goal is to make dinner at lunchtime. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay. Like, I've just decided. I made a decision to be better. And when you make the decision, guess what you got to do? If I had 2 kids in my house that were the same age, and one was really working towards potty training and the other one wasn't, and Zayden hung with the one that got his diaper changed all the time, guess what's gonna happen? He's gonna be like, man, change my diaper too. What you talking about? I ain't trying to get on this potty. Like, he ain't gotta get on the potty. I ain't getting on this potty neither. So, like, it goes back to what Travian said. Your circle matters. Come on, y'all. Like, set out your new identity.
Hey, Rachel, I have a comment. So that when you said putting on a new identity, that just takes me back to conference when Mark had us do that exercise where he turned down all the lights and he was like, close your eyes and envision yourself like as your best self. And I just remember like having my eyes closed and I had the biggest, gummiest smile ever, because it feels really good to put on that new identity and to see yourself like as a totally different person. Because I know if I could literally create myself, I would be so much different and so much that I would change. But like you said, you can't really pull anything out that's not already inside of you. So whatever your brain is telling you, or this new identity that you're forming that you desire, it's in there, it's possible. If you can see it, it can happen. So that takes me back to that exercise. If you guys weren't at conference, maybe it's on YouTube or something, but I mean, that's a powerful exercise to do just by yourself, and have that reminder, like, you don't have to be this person that you are. You don't have to feel helpless or like trapped. And I mean, that's something big. I know someone on here was talking about anxiety. Like, that's something big that I deal with. And just, knowing that you can create this whole new mindset, and that your brain is constantly moving and forming and changing. Like, we can be really anything we want to be. So if y'all haven't seen that or wasn't there, look it up, because everything Rachel is saying is going with what our CEO is telling us to do.
Yes. So it even takes you back to the whole "thank God I'm rich." Like, thank God I'm rich. Like, for real. And screaming it from the pits, because it's something that'll go into your memory. That's like scientific stuff, like, for real. Like, you screaming "thank God I'm rich." You start screaming it enough, you'll start believing it. Like, what is it that you're speaking over your life? What do you speak over your kids? That's why this is something that's so big for me. I don't call my kids back. Because little do you know, you speaking these things, talking about the actions that they're doing, and then you're actually reinforcing the actions that they have. It's the same thing when it comes to your business partner. Oh, they so lazy, don't never show up. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. That's what you want for your team. They so yeah, you got lazy, and then you mad they lazy. You mad they always late. So it's like, I have a team that shows up and is always on time. Where they at? Coming. It's manifested. My team runs their auto ship on the 1st. When I spoke about it enough, guess what happened? People started doing it. And don't stop speaking it. Oh my gosh, that part. So what's going to happen? This is what the enemy does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Steal, kill, and destroy. 3 things. That's it, right? So he's gonna come in, and he's gonna have a negative Nancy that sounds so loud. It's gonna say, well, no, they get paid on the 15th. They can run a auto ship and that's fine for you and your organization. But my team runs their auto ship on the 1st. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay, and you don't have to be rude or anything like that, but you have to keep manifesting what it is that you desire your organization to look like. Do you want excellency? And that doesn't mean that if they can't run to 16, guess what? They can't run to 16. They haven't reached that level of faith yet, and that's okay. Yeah, that go back to this. Brianna and I just got done watching about tithes. Some people ain't paying their tithes. I'm sure everybody on here ain't paying their tithes. But at the end of the day, like, you start where you at. That don't mean tithes ain't still legit what you're supposed to do. It's still, it's a principle. That don't make tithes any less real, because you're not doing it. And so as a leader, because everybody on here is leading some, and you got to lead yourself first. And I think that's the thing. You can't wait for somebody to convince you of what you're saying is right before you start doing it. Stop waiting for somebody. Help, Jesus. See, I'm at a 1. Help, Jesus. Hold on. He ran away. I called his daddy name. So you have just lost my train of thought. Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks. So what was I saying? Help me. Tithes are no less, yep, you can't wait around for somebody to convince you that what you're saying is right. Oh my goodness. And let me just give you guys an example, and then I'm going to see if anybody else has anything else on their heart and mind that they would like to kind of get something worked out tonight. Y'all remember, everybody remembers, okay? We're, like Travis said, we're grown on here. Y'all remember back in high school, like, it'd be like 1 or 2 girls that was like pure, and give me 1 second to mind if you got something to say. There'd be like 1 or 2 girls that pure, and everybody thought that they was like, well, you know what I'm saying. But they would be against the norm, like people who don't go to the parties and whatever, right? But when you look at those people now, like, and where they are, because they had a level of self-discipline and self-control that we did not have, right? That is where you have to be at to be a 1%er. You have to look at the masses. This is so real, y'all, and it's so cliche. You have to look at the masses and go the other way. If everybody runs their auto ship on the 25th, put yours on the 1st. That's what Black Diamonds do. Everybody's like, well, Rachel, how do you always show up? When I made that a part of my identity. I am reliable. I am resilient. I never stay down. I always get back up. I know who has my back. I utilize God's strength in my weakness. I cry out to God instead of people. He's my first resource. So how do you create what you desire and what you admire? When you look at the top income earners and you see who they are, I'm excited. I'm trying to be like Melody McFarland, okay? She always excited. Maybe you need to get excited about something. Why you out here miserable about something? Always want to hint on the fact that she's excited. Get excited too. Be like, girl, I'm excited. I don't know about what, but if I stay excited, God will bless me. You know what I'm saying? All right, who else got something? Anybody got something before we end this? Demond, did you have something? How we ending? Let's talk about what we're going to do this next week. What is something that you're going to implement in order to stop the lies of the enemy from overtaking your business over this next week? You always keep the goal in hand. I forgot, I had shared a scripture with some of my crew about, they was like, how do you, especially when you're not where you want to be. So like for this, y'all don't know, this month I'm working on Diamond and Beyond on my 2.0. And I put myself in a position to where like I need to be Ruby by Friday. Actually, should be more than Ruby by last Friday. And so it's like, okay, well, how do you keep your mind set on continuously moving forward, even when you're not hitting the benchmarks that you desire to hit? And my thing is, my mind is always set on the goal, and the goal is always beyond where it is. So like looking at Double Diamond and looking at who can I help on this chart, you have to keep your mind set on where you're going, not where you are. Where are you going? $15,000 bonus. Where are you going? $35,000 in bonuses. Where are you going? A mom bringing in extra $500 a month. Where are you going? Helping somebody get their body snatched for this vacation. Like, where are you going? And then on top of that, have you followed up? Did you see him get snatched? Oh, did you ever follow through to see the snatch list? Or you just was saying that because you just wanted a loyal customer? Are you taking the time to actually check in? And then I told them, I don't know, I said this on my team meeting, I don't know when I said it, help Jesus, I talk too much. You have to find a place, you have to put yourself in a position to where your mentorship is not based on how people respond. If that's the case, then you fake. Are you gonna stop following up with your customer because of how they respond to you? Or are you going to, or because they didn't respond to you? That's the same thing with the follow-ups. Are you just doing your job, or are you doing something because you want some attention? Their response should not, so like when it comes to mentorship, if you have a program, if you're not firing them, then you should still be doing your job, which is checking on them, which is sending them different tips and tools, not in your feelings. They ain't quit yet. Nobody has anything? You sure? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna get y'all home and I'll pause.
I'm just here with sabotage. I kind of was sidetracked, but
I think there's been times where, for lack of better terms, thirstiness can be self-sabotage. And what I mean by that is not giving myself the time to slow down, even when it comes to a potential distributor or a loyal customer, just because of that anxiousness, just to see that email or to see, to see that notification that it went through. And so one thing that I've been committed to implementing. So like right now, the girl that I'm talking to, she wanted TFX, and I know how to get her from wanting TFX to getting it in minutes. You know what I mean? And so, but saying, I'm willing, but then when I asked the question, I found out that she wanted to lose 160 pounds. And I knew at that point, it was more of a duty for me to ask more questions, even though I know I can get this $39 purchase like in a moment. You know what I mean? So now the conversation is stretched out a little bit more, but now I know she drinks coffee. I know she hasn't cleansed in the last 30 days. I know she struggled with eating fruits and vegetables. And so since I ask very simple questions, it makes it much easier for me to present the pack. And so I think there have been moments where the self-sabotage has come because I just want to get to the end so fast. And so sometimes, although I may not check her out tonight, I probably will check her out Friday or Saturday, but what would have been 30 BB could now be 120 BB. And so I know that thirstiness and just like having that victory, but really saying, is it really victory if I'm telling this woman who clearly wants to lose a whole human that you need to just TFX? That's a lie. You know what I mean? And so understand that there's a duty behind me slowing down and asking more questions so I can truly be helped. So she is not another person that said it don't work. You know what I mean? So for me, my plan of action is slowing down and asking the questions and knowing that the first question that I ask you guys want to know is before I get you started on TFX, tell me what your goal is so I can make sure I'm making the right suggestions. So that's the question that I'm asking with each product to get more of a conversation going. So then I'm not selling to you, I'm just answering your question.
All right, that sounded like. Did we get it fixed? Help, Deatrice?
Yes.
Oh, did you want to say something? Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
What about now? I'm sorry. I'm having trouble with my volume. Can you hear me?
No, can you type it to us? Type it to us. Text it to us. Send it in a message. Okay, while we waiting on her, it does sound like Super Mario. Dang, it was something I was gonna say about what Keisha said. So, leaning into the discomfort. I actually said this to the team today, saying about how, like, that's something that you need to ask God about. Like, what is that fear? That fear of rejection, that fear of them walking away, right? The fear of not closing because it's like, well, I want to ask them no questions because they might change their mind. No. I want to ask them questions because I want to get them what they need. I love it. Like, do you have a budget or are you open? Like, if you have a budget, tell me because I'm not going to offer you $100, $200, $300 worth of product and you just trying to spend $25. But I am going to be realistic. You need to get it started on something with it works. However, let's start, and then if I know what based on your budget, I can get you started on the best first thing. But then I also know the system that we're gonna have. If you start on a cleanse, y'all know, and I wish like we had Connect back when. Listen, I had signed 40 cleanse customers in a month, and that was not good. So let me tell you, mass enrolling can be good and bad. The bad part about it is if you don't have a system to take care of them, you will lose them. And then it's like you shouldn't have signed. You could have signed 3 a month, 4 a month, 6 a month now, 6 a month over however many months, and still had them ordering, right? Because you had time to take care of them. So take care of your customers because if they start on the cleanse, and then what? Hashtag and then what? Because y'all know cleansing once a month is like, it's good and you'll have a boost of energy, but that's not going to help you change your habits. That's not going to help you like really get the weight off consistently, right? So, Deatrice, were you able to text us with you? Okay, yep. I was talking to a young lady yesterday who got a product that she really didn't need, and because of it, she cared. Oh, she did. Oh, she didn't want to try our products again. That's good. Did y'all understand that? So somebody just signs like, hey, just buy this fat fighter. Like, they don't even eat out. Why? They don't even eat bad. Like, they don't need no fat fighters. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Thank you for sharing that script. Y'all go ahead and copy that script from Keisha. Yes, this is good. All right, guys, I'm going to pray. If we don't have no more questions, and we'll hop off here. Hopefully this was helpful. I want you guys to drop in the comments one thing you're going to do this next week. What's one thing you're going to do to set yourself up to be successful over this next week? One thing you're going to do to set yourself up to be successful over this next week. And for those of you guys who sit and work, I was just telling some of my crew to stand up. Stand up and work. I have like 2 bars that I will stand on. I stand on the bar, right? What? That I'll stand beside. I just need Jesus. Y'all just pray for me. And I'll stand beside the bar, like, because I can stand up and it's at my height. That's what I meant. All right, just drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. Oh, yep, that makes sense. I get that. She got the rap. So don't be fearful, guys. Do not operate your business in fear. Isaiah 41:10, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy 1:7. Thank you, Holy Ghost. 2 Timothy 1:7 and Isaiah 41:10. Isaiah 41:10 is a new one that I just put. My son is sending me pictures on my iPad, I should show them to y'all, but I'm not. But anyways, Zayden is writing me pictures. All right, as you guys are dropping the comments, I'm going to pray. This is my life, like for real, okay? So if you think you got to have it all together, that's a lie. The devil is a lie. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we're just grateful for this evening. Thank you for being our God. Thank you for being so amazing, God. Thank you for the health and strength and having us even be awake and have the heart and mind to get on this call, God. Thank you for being in the midst. And God, I'm praying that the words that were said and the things that people shared today, that you just replenish them all the more and give it back to them tenfold for what they gave today, God. I'm praying that the things that were said, that it just penetrates the heart and mind to cause us to explode and walk in this new identity that you've given us, God. Help us to know who we are. Help us to know the purpose that you have for us, the plans that you have for us. Give us that Jeremiah 29:11, knowing that everything that you've given to us is to prosper us, even the bad, God. Even the bad things that are going on, it's always meant for our good in the end, and we are victorious in the end. And if we walk in that victory, we will feel so much better in our day in and day out with work in our business. And God, just knowing that we don't work based on our feelings, but we work on the consistency that you have imparted in us, because we are consistent. And so even on the days we don't feel like it, we show up because that is who we are. We are people who are present. We are people who are consistent. We are people who are resilient. We are people that get knocked down because that's just a part of life, but we always get back up because we know where our strength lies. So God, we just praise you today. We adore you. We love you. We worship you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.